We're heading through the corner, but it's been an accident and we've just about avoided it, and that was a pretty crazy accident again. He tried to squeeze us onto the grass. There's a little bit of contact between us two, and hopefully I've got enough traction, but he's gone a little bit wide, and this could allow us an opportunity to go up the inside. We actually go down the inside of two cars there. He's gone wide there, and that's allowed us to go right the way past. It looks like we're going to win the San Marino Grand Prix. There's just a few more corners to go. Hey guys, Matt here, and welcome back to the rFactor Ayrton Senna career. We're here at round 5 of the championship in Dijon-Prenois, or the Dijon-Prenois Circuit, for the French Grand Prix. It's a very interesting circuit, I'd say, very fast flowing, and some really difficult corners because the terrain really likes to vary on this track. But jumping into practice now, I'm stuck behind my teammate, and he was actually holding me up for the entire third sector. As I actually go wide off the circuit, I get an awful line through that corner there and just go wide. And one thing I noticed with this car on the circuit, the rear of the car was just really bad, like the rear downforce. It was just sliding everywhere. Whenever I got on the throttle, I had this similar problem in Imola actually, and I tried to change the setup a bit, but it didn't really make any difference, to be honest. But on the back of my teammate now, Johnny Ciccotto, we got a slipstream there, and we actually go 4th in this session. We improved by about 2 seconds. Heading into turn 1 now, I lock up a little bit, go a little bit wide, and heading through to get the apex now, I actually spin the car right around. And I actually thought it was my teammate, but looking at the replay you're going to see now, I lock up into the corner, as you can see, go a bit wide, and under the application of the throttle, I just spin it right around. It just shows how wild the rear of the car was. But heading through these nice series of corners now behind Jonathan Palmer, I'm going to close right up to him, and actually close so far up to him that I actually have to go off circuit just avoid hitting his rear. And one thing I noticed, that the front of the car was really good, but the rear of the car was crap. And that obviously had an effect in the race as well. But in qualifying now, I'm 2/10 up on my own time, 4/10 up on Alain Prost's time in the McLaren, so I'm absolutely nailing this lap. I felt that as I put more fuel in the car was a lot quicker, obviously, because it's a lot more settled. Heading into the third sector now, the car's still a little bit unsettled. Heading to this corner now, and I completely mess up the braking zone for that corner and head wide. Almost hit the barrier actually. It's just a metal barrier on the outside of that circuit, extremely dangerous. But heading into that same corner, the next lap, I'm still up on myself. I'm 3.5 tenths up on myself, and I'm just about up on pole. But Mark Stewart's actually gone quick. But heading into the last corner, the car's still a bit unsettled. The rear of the car going a little bit wild. And heading onto the straight now, what is the time going to be? It's going to be 104.4, so I actually improved by almost 8 tenths on my own lap, and I'll go 1.5 tenths quicker than pole. But heading onto this lap now, this was actually the quickest lap that I set in qualifying, so I'm going to leave you onboard and offboard shots, so enjoy. So despite getting provisional pole, we actually managed to slip down to 6th in the end because the AI went out at the end of the session. They improved massively on the intermediate tyre, and we didn't actually do all of our laps that we were actually allowed. We only did 7 out of the 12 laps, despite thinking that I had a really good pace in qualifying. We slipped down to 6th, which was really surprising. But we're now going to head over to the race, 1984 French Grand Prix. So it's race day for the 1984 French Grand Prix. We're on the right hand side of the grid, which isn't as good as the left hand side of the grid, but it should be alright. Waiting for the lights to come on, and it's lights out and away we go. We get bogged down off the start. We're just not getting the launch we really need. We've not got very much wheel spin though, but we're going to stick to the middle of the track just to defend the positions. We've only lost 2 positions off the start. Heading into turn 1 now. we've not had any incidents so far, and yeah, we've got through turn 1 cleanly, which is a good start to the race. Heading through into the fast section of the track now, and we've got an extremely good front end on this car, which allows us to close right up to the Williams of Jacques Laffite. We've not had a great line heading into turn 5, I believe, though, and we've not had great traction either, and that's allowed us to lose a little bit of time to Jacques Laffite in front, but we're sticking with them. But I believe the Renault Patrick Tambay is right up our gearbox, and we can't allow us to really lose that position to the Renault behind, because he's got an extremely quick car in a straight line. I think it's about 800 horsepower in that car. We're heading through into the third sector now. We're actually going to make a move around the outside of Jacques Laffite. We've just got the grip to do so. I think he's still my inside though. I'm going to check the mirror just to make sure he's not there. He's not there anymore, and that's the move completed as we head on to lap 2. Taking a look at the replay of the start though, we're on the right hand side of the grid and we get bogged down a lot, and the reason why this was is because I actually used the clutch for the start. First time I've actually used a clutch in this season so far, and that's because I forgot that I actually had a clutch on my wheel and I could use it at any point in the season. But yeah, I used the clutch for the first time. It gave less wheel spin, but I guess I didn't use it properly. I could have let the clutch up a little bit quicker and it would have given a much better start. But you can see there, I headed to the inside of Laffite and then decided to cut back to the outside again. It gave a crap line through that corner and gave crap traction out the corner as well. Lost a lot of time, but by the end of the lap, managed to catch up to Laffite and went right the way around his outside. He got held up from the arrows of Marc Surer, and I just went right around his outside because I had the grip gloves to do so with this extremely pointy front end of a car. But heading on to lap 2 now, you're going to see the gearbox of my car is absolutely crap. It's just like the previous races in this season. You're going to see the Brabham dart to the inside there, and that's actually Theo Fabi flying up the inside, and I actually hit into the rear of him because he took so much speed into that corner. They got such a crap line that I sort of just went into the back of him because he just decided to brake into that corner. But I get a massive cutback on him as we head into this downhill section here. We bang wheels actually as I go round the inside, or into the inside of Marc Surer there, overtake him, and I'm onto the back of Theo Fabi. I think there's still a car to my inside. Yes, there is. I have a little bit of contact. But we're onto the back of Theo Fabi now. But there seems to be a little bit of a hold-up actually with Alain Prost, Fabi and Mansell as well, and I think that's Manfred Winkelhock in the ATS car. He qualified pretty well, but he's going extremely slowly. I'm not sure if his car has a problem or something, but he's holding up the pack here, and it's meaning that I'm getting held up as well, and it's not great when I've got a gearbox this shit on my car. Heading on to the main straight, basically the only straight on this track really. I've got a crap launch out onto the main straight there, and the arrows of I believe Marc Surer's gone past. The Renault Tambay has gone past, De Angelis has gone past, I think there's a few cars on the inside, Rosberg's gone past, and yeah, my top speed's not great on this track. I'm not sure if I set the gear ratios wrong or something. But heading through this section, which should be fast, which actually isn't in the moment because we're getting held up by all these cars in front, I get a bit impatient and I'm going actually around the outside of Surer. I get 2 wheels on the grass actually, go down the inside of the Cesaris as well, I believe his name is. I'm not sure what car he is. I think he's in the Ligier. But yeah, it was 3 cars and 2 corners there I overtook, and I was just getting impatient, getting held up behind those cars basically. Heading down the straight though in the replay, I'm just getting passed by so many cars into turn 1. A lock up, almost hit the back of Surer I believe, and that leaves the door open as well. But heading on to I believe lap 4, and behind the back of Laffite and behind the back of 2 Williams actually, Rosberg and Laffite, onto the straight now, and this sort of highlights my my gearbox. I've got slipstream, but I can't overtake him, and I try and move down the inside there, but I just can't brake late enough to really make a move. And we head through this fast section now, which is really where I can make a move, go right around the outside of Laffite. Just shows how much front downforce I have in this car. As I think about going down the inside of Rosberg, there's a Ferrari on the right hand side there, that's Arnoux, and he's had a bad start to this this race, retiring I believe lap 4, and you can see a replay, or this is actually live actually, as we go to the inside of Rosberg. I've not got as much straight line speed as him, but I'm still pulling ahead. I'm not sure if he's put his engine down a notch or 2, but heading down to turn 1, he brakes early and I brake extremely late at the 100 meter board. Just about make the corner. I stick to the middle of the corner just so that he can't get past, but heading down into this downhill corner. I actually lock up the brakes, almost hit the barrier on the right hand side there, miss it by probably about a foot or two, and I'm not sure why that happened. We're going to see a replay now, but my brakes just didn't work as they should have. I slide off the corner, missed that barrier on the right hand side there by probably a foot, and yeah, it was an extremely close call. I could have retired from the race there, but the brakes just didn't work for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if they got overheated or something, or if they failed, but yeah, heading onto the straight now behind Keke Rosberg. I've got a much better launch off that corner this time. Heading to the inside, I'm not sure if he's turned his engine down because he's going extremely slowly down the straight now. I've still got him on my left as we head down into turn 1, and there's been a bit of contact as he tapped my left rear tyre, but that's the move completed and I'm now up into 7th, so it's a bit of a comeback drive here as we lost a few positions at the start because of our crap gearbox, but we headed to a corner there and Teo Fabi was going so slowly that I just decided to go onto the left hand side of the circuit to avoid hitting him because I was closing up on him so quickly that yeah, I was just so surprised by the closing speed basically as we tap the back of Rosberg because my closing speed was once again too high. I'm kind of missing my braking zone and making a few mistakes here, but hoping for a good launch through the last corner now. Will I get a good line through this corner? I've appeared to get a good line through the corner, and we're going to see if my straight line speed is good enough. I'm closing right up to his rear wing as I head to turn 1 now. I'm side by side as we head into turn 1. It's going to be a battle of the late breakers. I brake late as he's going to hang it around the outside, and it's a pretty good move from him to actually keep it around the outside there. We're now heading into the fast section of the track where my car really excels. We need to make a move quickly because we're getting held up by Rosberg at this point in time. So we're going to make a move down the inside. He's still on the outside though. He's still on the outside, carrying his car right around our outside. It's incredible racing from us two as we head into the uphill corner now. I'm going to try and make a move around the outside. He's still there on the right hand side. I tap his rear a little bit as we head up the hill now, and I'm going to try and outbrake him. He's defends the inside. We're around our car's span. I tried to keep the car running, but yeah, it was a little bit of contact there which sent our car around. I kept the rear wheels running just to not get bogged down in this gravel or sand or whatever the hell it is in France. But seeing a replay of the incident between us and Rosberg here, I get a much better launch to that corner. I get a little bit of a tank slapper actually, but I tried to make a move around his outside. He defends the inside. I think I just outbrake myself and hit his back. But we're now going to head in for our first and only pit stop of the race. It's a really weird pit lane actually, where you kind of come in off the main straight itself. You don't come in off the exit of a corner or before a corner. It's on the main straight itself, which, yeah, it's a bit strange. It's a bit old school, to be honest. And there's no pit wall either, so if there's an accident on the main straight, all the people in the pits are basically screwed because there's nothing to really protect them, which is really weird. But this track's from the mid-70s, so I guess that's sort of how they made tracks back then. But pits, the pit time is about 36 seconds there to put in all the fuel as we head out the pits now. Our teammate Johnny Cicotto actually had the same idea as us, and he actually pitted at the same time. But I think we're going to head out of the pits now in just about last place, because I realised at this point in time we were one of the first people to actually pit in this race, which is a bit of an interesting strategy decision by me. But heading past the pits now, we're actually gone past a few people there. We've gone past 7 people in the pits, up to 19th, and the next lap we go past even more people in the pits, or a few more people in the pits, and we're up to 15th now, which I guess is good. And heading around the last corner a bit sideways there, I'm going to put the boost level up to 10 just to make the engine perform a bit better, a bit quicker, and we're going to head past a few more people, or one more person. We head on to lap 16 now, nearing the end of the race, and you can see Prost and Rosberg have been held up massively by Francois Hesnel, the Frenchman. And yeah, allowed us to close up about 7 seconds in 2 laps, because I'm not sure if they were lapping him or if they were passing him legitimately, but yeah, it was strange that I managed to catch up that quickly, and it has allowed us to catch up right up to the back of Alain Prost. He's in the much better McLaren car, but we've got a much better level of traction heading off the last corner. We're not going to make a move down to turn 1 because we're a bit further back, but we're on the back of Prost now. We've got a much better run through the high-speed corner there. We've banged wheels heading round the outside of Prost now. We're probably going to make the move stick, and yes we do. We've got much better traction now as we head into one of the last laps of the race now, lap 19 out of 20, and we're on the back of Keke Rosberg. Nigel Mansell's retired on the right hand side of the track there. His engine's blown, Rosberg's getting held up hugely by Mauro Baldi, and it's actually great news for us because it's going to allow us a great opportunity to make a move on Rosberg now as we head to his right hand side. He's still on the left hand side, so I can't really move to the racing line now. I'm going to check my mirrors as we head into turn 1. Now he's banged wheels with us actually as we head sideways into turn 1. We head a little bit wide as we're on the left hand side of Rosberg now. I think we're just about going to make the move stick, and yes we do. We head around the outside of Rosberg and into third place I believe now, so we're actually heading for a podium, but we missed the braking zone there. And we've missed the braking zone, which has headed us almost off the circuit. We didn't actually go off the circuit at that time, but it allowed Rosberg to go right the way past. It's now the last lap of the race, and I really want to get a podium at this point. But the only person really separating us from a podium right now is Keke Rosberg, and he's probably maybe 1 or 2 tenths ahead of us. As we come up to a back marker now, we go around the outside of them. It'd be a pretty big shame for us to lose out on a podium from Keke Rosberg, who we've been battling for most of this race. But heading into the last corner now, we've got a great run through the last corner, great traction as we head onto the back of Keke Rosberg. We're going to overtake Keke Rosberg. We're now onto the back of Nelson Piquet, who's in second, and we could get him here as it's a run to the line, and we just about lose out on second place, which is a shame, but we do actually get a good podium. So looking at the championship standings now, Niki Lauda has moved up into first place in championship. Surprisingly, in second, we're actually in second at the moment, which is probably the biggest surprise of this table. We're on 18 points. We've been pretty consistent, 5th, 4th, 1st and 3rd, and Rennie Arnoux behind us is in 3rd, but it's actually a really close battle at the top. Our retirement could really, at this point, decide, or not decide the championship, but change it quite a bit. But looking at the constructors, it's no surprise that McLaren's up there. We're in 3rd in the constructors on 18 points. All those points are, of course, by us, basically. Johnny Cecotto is a bit of a letdown, to be honest, with no points. But yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, those two tables. It's a very close battle in the Drivers' Championship, but not too much of a close battle in the constructors. But looking at a replay here of, I believe this is Niki Lauda, you can see his retirement from the race, and it was a really strange retirement. He's going to crash out. He hits the inside the pit lane, and he flips his car, and then somehow he manages to magically get some traction when his wheels aren't touching the ground, which is strange. And I believe this is one of the Arrows cars, I believe Terry Boutsen, and he goes on 2 wheels and flips over a car and into the barrier, so it's a crazy accident for him. But yeah, that was a pretty mental race. I thought in terms of strategy I screwed up, but I guess in the end I didn't, which was a good feeling, and I got a podium. I could have got second actually if I got a better run out of the last corner, because I slid a bit of the last corner. But yeah, the next race is the jewel of the calendar. Let's say it's another European track. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Can we possibly aim for maybe 30 likes? That would be absolutely great. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.